Hey guys, Dave here from 40 Plus Fit. We're working on shoulder and back mobility today. We're going to start in against the wall, we're going to pinch the shoulder blades to the wall, and we'll look at some wall rotations. So slow, deliberate, controlled movement. Everything's going to be about 15 to 30 seconds or 10 reps for each side to make sure we really get those shoulders mobilized. I'd advise everybody to avoid any overhead pressing movements if you can't do those wall movements without a clunkiness or without any smooth movement from your shoulders. Just make sure that you work through all these mobility stuff before you start to load up your shoulders with military press or army presses. This kettlebell halo is very good to work the front, middle and back of your shoulders, keeping the kettlebell close to your head. And we're going to move on to the cable rotator cuff work. This exercise I see guys throwing around weights, and it should be a slow, deliberate move with a very light weight, just focusing on the movement as if you're just opening a gate out, keeping the elbow nice and close to that bottom rib. And here we're just going to elevate the elbow and work on that upward rotation. Now, if anyone's been to a physio or osteo with shoulder-based issues, this is something that they will advise you to do. And before you have to go see a physio or osteo, make sure you bring this in to make sure that your shoulders are moving well, that you've got good control of your scapula, and there's no issues that you're going to compound by loading with weight. Getting down onto the foam roller is going to be very, very beneficial, especially for somebody who might work at a desk or someone who sits in a hunched over position, driving a lot, commuting, or like I said, sitting at a desk all day. So getting down, working a little bit on that soft tissue of the mid to upper back of the shoulders, working on the lats. Now, the more that you actually use the foam roller, the better you're going to be able to find and manipulate some of these tight areas. The more experience you get with foam rolling, you're going to be able to hop down, find an area that's grotty, tight, causing you some issues, and manipulate it by different arm positions, manipulating your body weight, and just finding some of those tighter, grotty areas that you're just going to be able to massage out. Again, taking your time on the foam roller and breathing down into each of these massages and stretches. We're moving on to thoracic extension here, so plant your heels and hips on the ground. Keep the elbows close to the face and just extend up through that rib cage, and breathing out at the top of the move to really allow the spine and rib cage just to rotate up over that foam roller. Now, everybody knows the benefits of yoga, but practicing on yourself is a very good introduction if you didn't want to go to a yoga class. So getting down to a child's pose here, sitting back onto your heels and then moving the arms left and right to just loosen out the lats and upper back. If you can, moving into a push-up position. This is a yoga push-up, so it comes from a push-up down into a downward dog. Now, I know my downward dog isn't great, but all I'm looking to do is mobilize up through the shoulders. So if you can't do a push-up, start from this position and push yourself up into that downward dog. We upward rotate the shoulders and tuck the head down. Try and push the heels back to the ground and hips up to the ceiling. Moving on to all fours, we're going to move into some thoracic extension. So hand at the back of the head, elbow to elbow, and think about just pulling the shoulder blades back and pinching them together at the top of the movement. You can move on then to a full arm thoracic extension where you drive the arm under the body. You get a full stretch for the lats, and again pull that arm out, full rotation up, pull the shoulder blades together and pinch. Keeping your hips stacked up over your knees, so you don't want too much rotation from the lower back. You want that upper back to fully rotate. We're going to move on to full shoulder rotations using band and bar next. Now, unless you're able to really control the shoulder blade in that 360 movement, I wouldn't suggest doing these unless you're proficient at all of the ones leading up to this that we've shown in this video. So as the band comes up and over the head, pull the shoulder blades together and allow them to draw back and down your spine. And this is going to be very challenging unless you've got good shoulder mobility. So like I said, work on all of these exercises to make sure your shoulder is moving well before you move on to the band and then moving on to the bar. As you can see, bar comes up and over the head, shoulder blades come together, and the bar goes down to the low back. Guys, work on these shoulder mobility exercises pre-training before any kind of upper body or back-based exercise. You will see a nice increase in your shoulder mobility. Let me know how you get on. Dave at 40 Plus Fit.